Hey, folks, I want to thank you guys for bearing with us as we watched that end of that address. I did not realize the president was addressing the nation tonight because I don't usually watch the news. And so when, uh, when one of our subscribers said he's going to go back to watch the president, I think it's important to realize, even if you don't like him, that he is the president of the United States and he's addressing the nation for a reason. And that reason could be for or against your favor of border security, but he did have some valid points, and other people may have valid points against that. But I thought it important to at least share with that while that went on. So, big show tonight. Hey, folks, it's Tuesday night, January the 8th, 2019. Second Tuesday of the year. Second live show of the year for 2019. We're so excited to bring you quality viewing, not entertainment. Well, there is entertainment, but educational resources to help you better yourself, your homestead, your preparedness, and yourself as a whole, as a person. So with that, we're going to go ahead and see who's online tonight. Give a quick shout out to all these folks. Incense Shops, Pickers, Kitty's here. Lone Star's here. Josh is here. Freaky Geek. Doc Ferris is here. And who else? Chip Signal. How's it going? Dragon Stalin 1001. And hashtag got breakaway to 1,000. Do we get 1,000? Or hashtag get breakaway to 1,000. There we go. Big shout out to channel Two Family Homestead. Daryl and Sherry. Daryl and Sherry. They had me on their show last night, their live show at 9 p.m. Megan and I were on. If you didn't see it, go back and check it out. We were on the show for a little over 2 hours talking about my channel, what I plan to do for 2019, contributions, stuff like that. And they interviewed us, and people got to learn a couple new things about myself and Megan as well. So check that out sometime. It's Two Family Homestead, Daryl and Sherry. So let's see what's going on here tonight. I'm looking at my notes. So we're updating our websites, and we're updating our outlook for 2019 for our live shows. Tuesdays are going to be used not only to catch you up on what's going on the homestead, but to also give you a little insight that you may not know, some education that other folks may not know, and basics along the lines. Like tonight, we're going to talk about tires. And so if you guys could give me a thumbs up on the screen, let me know that you hear me loud and clear, and I will go ahead and get started with all the things that are going on the BreakAway Homesteader channel and beyond. Doc Ferris, hey, how's it going? People we got showing tonight. I don't have a number on here. Oh, 13 watching right now. Another 48 subscribers, and I will be at 1,000. Once we hit that 1K mark, even without hitting the 1K mark, I think you'll see that in the next few weeks and beyond that the channel is really going to explode in viewership and content. There's big plans ahead for this year, some equipment upgrades and website upgrades as well. And you could take advantage of it. Take advantage of all the information. So Freaky Geek said, what type of spare tire are we talking about? A human spare tire? One of these things here, a love handle? Or regular tires? We're going to talk about regular tires tonight. Katie says she'll have to go back and watch the Two Family Homestead channel. So let's go ahead and talk about what's going on. So I am going to switch over here. Let's talk about the website first and show you guys what's going on with the website and what's been going on this week. So screen display, you can see me there. Let me pull up the other items here. The whole thing gets to go over here. All right. So the first thing that happened this week is I put out a blog. Right after Tuesday, on Wednesday I posted a blog onto Twitter, onto Instagram, onto Facebook, onto my own channel here, my own website, a blog and a review of Warriors Repose. This is a soap that was created by Robin from the Big Bear Homestead, and it was originally meant for her husband, Jason, to help calm him down if he has any anxiety or anything like that, PTSD, whatnot. And so that's what this blog is about. It's about my experience of using this particular soap, and I'm very impressed with it, and you can check that out on their site. And if you go to my website, there's a link down here below on how to get to their website to order that soap if you want to get it. Another thing going on here, we got the gardener store. There's a giveaway going on there from seedsnow.com. This is our affiliate site. When you click on here, you'll be able to enter for your chance to win those seed pods. You do not have to buy anything. You just enter, and if you win, you win. That's awesome. Now, another thing we've added to the website is subscription to the website. This is absolutely free. You go on here, and it says here, subscribe for updates. We'll keep you up to date to send you our weekly social media right to your email. And what I plan to do with this is on every Wednesday, you'll get not only a copy of the blog, but a little insight on what's going on the homestead, and a sneak peek at what's coming up the following week for our social media and content. And so that's what's going on the website. Let's switch back here to the scene. And I will, so we talked about Warriors Repose. And so another thing we did this week, last Thursday, we did a book review. You guys know Donna Williamson from Old Ways, New Times. Donna and Steve, they have come up with their own book. It's called How to Begin by Donna Williamson. And it's a small book, but I posted a review. It's the very first book review that I know of, and I promised her probably October of last year that I would do this review for her, and I finally got the oats up and did that for her. So you can check that out on my channel. It's the book review of D.G. Williamson. And if you guys watched that review already, you're in luck, because if you watched it all the way to the end, I said at the very end that we would be giving away a copy of this book tonight. And so tonight's giveaway is a copy of How to Begin by Donna Williamson. And I'm excited to announce that we're going to do a random name check here. I'm going to switch over back to that so we can do that. Screen display. And we'll go back to the random name picker. Now, to get on this giveaway, what you had to do was say something nice about Donna. Several people wrote comments in the section, but they did not correctly follow the rules on how to enter for the giveaway tonight. So only 2 people actually qualified by saying wonderful things about Donna. And that was Common Man and Anita G's Hillbilly Heaven. So I'm going to hit this pick random name, and one of these 2 winners, or one of these 2 people, are going to win either a PDF version of it, if they want an electronic version, or a physical copy like this. All they have to do is just send me an email at breakawayhomesteader.gmail or at gmail.com, and they will get that copy of the book, or they can give me their address and I'll send them a physical copy of the book from Amazon. And if you look down in the description below, you can find the link to that Amazon site where you can get that book for yourself. And it's $3 for the upload and $5 for the physical book itself. And this is the first in the series. She's going to make more of these, and this is really the best gift to give somebody. There we go. For if they're starting out or wanting to know about homesteading or prepping or self-reliance. And so that was about the book review. Let's go ahead and pick that random name, and bam, Anita G's Hillbilly Haven. She is a winner. Give me a call. No, just kidding. Give me an email. And I'll show you guys that screen display here. Show you that between the two, Anita G's Hillbilly's Haven, in case Common Man was upset about the results, he can see that she did in fact win. And so send me an email again, breakawayhomesteader@gmail.com. Tell me if you want the electronic version or if you want an actual physical version that I can send you. Compliments of the Breakaway Homestead. Now, talking about book giveaways or book reviews and a book giveaway, I have been in contact with a publishing company, and they are putting out prepper-based and self-reliant-based books. These are e-books, these are e-publications, and they're pretty decent. The first person that we contacted was Daisy Luther. She is the owner of the website organicprepper.com. And so if you go there, most of those articles are written by her, and she has agreed to put out some of her content through my channel. Now, what I'm going to do for the next 12 weeks, every Friday I'm going to put out a book review on another different book related to homesteading or prepping or self-reliance of that nature. And so this Friday, the book review that will be coming out, it's called The Blackout Book. And I have screen display here what it is. So from the Organic Prepper website, this book is called The Blackout Book. And what it is 71 pages. I think it's 71 pages of information on how to handle a blackout. And so there's going to be two ways to win, but you're going to have to watch the review on Friday to figure out how to win. I'll give you details in the video, and there'll be two ways to win a book. So 2 people next week on my next live stream will win a copy of this book. Now, when I say copy, they'll get emailed a EPUB book. It's actually a PDF of this book. And that was sponsored by Daisy Luther at theorganicprepper.com. And so we look forward to that and the next 12 weeks of Prepper books and Prepper book giveaways. And so this channel here, her actual channel here shows this book at a value of $9.49. I'm talking to her now, or talking to her assistant, about getting a cheaper price for that book. And so that is what you have to look forward to this upcoming Friday. And it is a lot of information. I'm going to head back to the comments here, see what's going on. And Big Bear Homestead from Jason from Big Bear Homestead just announced they're having a 10K drawing on Saturday. So go there Saturday night. Set your clocks to it. So Paprika FAA As Chip signaled what the president was talking about, the president was talking about border security and what he's doing to try to negotiate with the Democrats on getting border security for our country. That's what it was about. It was a nation address, so it was pretty significant in my eyes. So, what else happened this week? We went to a flock swap on Saturday, and if you don't know what a flock swap is, it's kind of like a barter station for people with farm animals. And what they'll do is they'll bring their excess animals out and bring an idea that people can barter for certain things. Mostly there were chickens there and goats and a couple of other type of fowl. But these things also include usually like rabbits or other type of fowl like quail. But mostly was chickens, and this was the first flock swap we've been to, and we noticed that it's going to bring a big opportunity because there was no chickens. I'm sorry, there were no rabbits to introduce rabbits into the flock swap and maybe see about doing some bartering for rabbits. And once we raise more rabbits, we will take them to that swap. The reason why I say that is because we recently gained 3 new cages, which adds 12 new cages to the 9 we already had, and they're all sitting empty. I'm talking with Doc Ferris now. He's going to bring a couple of rabbits on my birthday in a couple weeks to here. And yes, Doc Ferris, Megan has already told me that you were heading out here. So she spoils the surprise for you. I'm looking forward to it. Seeing you and the kid, and so he had planned on bringing a couple rabbits, and we'll go ahead and add those to the numbers, and I'm going to get some more rabbits this weekend. I had planned on getting rabbits from that flock swap, but it did not work out. They didn't have any rabbits there. So there's potential there for that flock swap and future endeavors. Quail, Megan's still adamant about getting quail this year, 2019. We are going over plans on how to make quail cages for what she wants. And right now, because we have so many rabbit cages, we do have wire cages that can be retrofitted to meet the demands of a quail cage. And so she wants a more of a tractor type deal. And I'm trying to convince her that even if it's a cage or a wire cage, you can still move the wire cage on ground with grass on it and still have that foliage come up, and they could still scratch and pick up bugs and everything like that. The point behind quail that she had was that you could take the eggs, and they're good for people with allergies. And our son Huxley is intolerant to chicken and possibly eggs. We're not 100% sure on that, but this will give an alternative route for him and all of us to take on here. So we went up over the website, went over the updates. If you subscribe to my channel, every Wednesday you'll get an update with the blog and talk about what's going on the homestead, kind of like what we're doing now, but you'll get additional information. There's no price to subscribe. Just subscribe. You'll get an email personally from me every Wednesday. So I'm looking forward to that as well. Last Thursday, we purchased a greenhouse from Harbor Freight for a 6x8 greenhouse, and I was going to pull up a picture of it, but I don't have it up. I didn't prepare myself correctly and forgot to get that picture up, but I might actually just be able to show it to you. All right. Pictures. I did take pictures. All right. Come on, you. So we're in the middle of raising it up, and hopefully you can see it right there. Yep, that's what it looks like right there. The frame is on. I am putting the windows on it now, but you can see here that we place it on a platform or risers. We place it on a 16-inch riser to make it the height more pleasing to the taller person. because if we were just to put that on the ground the way it is, you'd hit your head on everything. So that's coming along nicely. As soon as that's done, we'll talk about what we did inside the greenhouse, what we're going to test out, and what we're going to do. And we'll give that update next Tuesday on the next channel. And so, that's pretty much it. Guys have any questions about what's going on? If not, we're going to go ahead and get into this tonight's topic. Brad from Full Spectrum's on tonight. He missed our last show. Funny thing happened to our show last week. It announced that it was shown 3 months ago. The date on it had messed up from the live stream. It was really weird, but it's up there now. Should be able to view last week's show. All right, so let me get my notes out for tonight's lesson, and we will get started on talking about tires. I'm going to move over here to this screen. That is the screen display. You should be able to hear me loud and clear. And I will place up the PowerPoint presentation. This is a presentation I created myself, and it's not even going to the very first. There we go. So tonight's video is about the importance of good tires on your vehicle. We are in the dead middle of winter. You may not realize it yet, but if you're in the southeast, it's still, I mean, it was 65 degrees out today. But in most of the country, there could have been, bad weather, whatnot. What this video is about and what this section is about of this live show is to talk about how tires are important on your vehicle, how safety is important in your vehicle, and why tires are the #1 safety issue that you should always maintain on your vehicle. So keeping yourself and your loved ones safe on the road is the subtitle of this page. So the invention of the tire, born in 1822 in Scotland, Robert William Thomas invented the pneumatic tire at the age of 23. His invention was patented in the United States in 1847. The tire was an elastic belt of rubberized canvas that was enclosed in an outer casing of heavy leather and was bolted to a wheel. Thomas also was the inventor of the fountain pen. And so pictured here on the right is a picture of the very first gasoline-powered car, and that's the Benz 1, Mercedes-Benz Benz 1. It was the first gasoline-powered automobile, which ran for the first time on New Year's Eve in 1879. His patent was titled Vehicle Powered by Gas Engine, and it had a top speed of 10 miles per hour. Now, a lot of people would say, hey, I bet you that was the first vehicle that somebody died in. That's actually incorrect. Before the gasoline-powered vehicle, there were steam vehicles. And if you ever want to look into steam vehicles, you can check out Jay Leno's garage. He's got several steam vehicles. If you've ever heard of Stanley Steamer, it was actually a car in the very beginning. And that's just a little tidbit about the vehicles of the time. And so here's the evolution of the tire. So we're going to start from the beginning and go all the way up to today. 1888, the first pneumatic tire was made. When Carl Benz invented the first gasoline-powered car, the engine wasn't the only innovation. The car rested on the first pneumatic tires. Constructed from metal, covered in rubber, and filled with air, the concept of the pneumatic tire was first thought up by Robert William Thomas in 1847. But his design never made it into production. Instead, it was John Boyd Dunlop Tires, who he was also a chemist, who developed the first practical pneumatic tire. The first tire found their use on Dunlop's son's tricycle. And there's a picture of it on the right. That's the very first pneumatic tire that was used physically. These early tires were made possible by the vulcanization process invented by Charles Goodyear and Thomson, which gave rubber enough durability to survive road use. So at the time, the public was still used to having wood or iron wheels, so they were excited by the prospect of a ride that wouldn't send the shock of every bump and pothole running through the vehicle. The popularity of the pneumatic car tires increased after they were featured in the Paris-Bordeaux race of 1895. These first tires were tall and skinny, similar to today's bicycle tires. Now, if I go back one, you see the Benz one there. It looks like a large bicycle tire. So moving along in the evolution, 1905. So as the automobiles grew larger, heavier, and more powerful, car tires needed to become stronger as well. In 1905, tire makers introduced the first treaded tires. These tires featured a durable, stiff tread on the outer edge of the tire. The tread absorbed the initial shocks and wear from the road, protecting the rest of the tire from road damage. With the tread taking the brunt of the abuse, the treaded tires could be stronger and absorb shocks more easily. So the video or the picture of the wheel that's in this caption right here is from the original Ford Model T, shown on the right. And when you buy a brand new tire, so that tire right there, bought brand new at the time, would cost a total of $7.70. So moving on to 1923, balloon tires were made. As automobiles grew larger, heavier, and more powerful, car tires needed to become stronger as well. In 1905, tire makers introduced the first treaded tires. These tires featured a durable, stiff tread on the outer edge of the tire. The tread absorbed the initial shocks and wear from the road, protecting the rest of the tire from road damage, with the tread taking the brunt of the abuse. Actually, that was the last slide. But in 1923, Firestone introduced the balloon tire, and that's the slide we're on now. A type of low-pressure tire that improved handling and performance because these tires used low air pressure. More of the tire's surface area was in contact with the road, allowing the tire to grip the road more firmly. These tires were used in mainstream automobiles for some time, but future developments pushed them out of mainstream use. However, if you can see below, there's an all-terrain vehicle at the bottom, and you'll see balloon tires on vehicles today. Sand dune runners, these all-terrain vehicles still use the Firestone balloon type because it's a softer tire for the terrain that most sport utility vehicles go over. In 1931, the synthetic rubber tire was created. So by the 1920s, rubber car tires were a necessity in automobiles, but they relied upon expensive and limited quantities of natural rubber. Through the 1920s, the Bayer laboratories, yes, the same laboratories that make aspirin and Viagra, worked on producing a synthetic rubber. In 1931, the DuPont company successfully industrialized the production of synthetic rubber, increasing both the availability and the quality of tire rubber. In 1946, Radial Tires came about, and we're getting to the realm of tires that we still use today. A little comparison there, the left and right, of what the Michelin Man looked like before and after, or in the earlier days and in the newer days. So in 1946, Michelin introduced a tire technology that would soon become industry standard, the radial tire. By arranging the individual cords of the tire at a 90-degree angle to the direction of travel, Michelin improved steering performance, increased the lifespan of the tread, and increased gas mileage by reducing the rolling resistance of the tires. Adoption lagged behind in the United States because of the increased cost of radial tires. But in 1968, review of Consumer Reports finally convinced the American people to adopt these tires. In 1970, Ford offered the very first American vehicle with radial tires as standard equipment on the Lincoln Continental Mark III. So here we are, getting close to modern day. 1947, the tubeless tire came out. So we're getting closer to what we are today. Early car tires were composed of two separate parts, a durable outer tire and an inner tube that actually held the air in the tire. If the inner tube developed a leak, the entire tire would immediately blow out, explode, or pop. Because of friction inside the tire, inner tubes burst with some regularity. In 1947, B.F. Goodrich introduced the first tubeless tire. By reinforcing the outer walls of the tire, the company was able to eliminate the inner tube, storing the pressurized air directly within the tire walls. This improved reliability and tire life while also making the ride more comfortable. The part of the initial testing of these car tires, small groups were taxis and police cruisers of Ohio. The feedback was so positive that all the vehicles soon switched to the tubeless tires after Goodrich won the patents for their tubeless tires. The design became standard in 1955. So that is the standard today. And next up, we're going to talk about why is this an important topic to be talking about on a live show? Yes, it's a homesteading channel, but it's also an information channel. It's an educational channel to get you to better understand. Most of you here already know how to change a tire, know about the safety of tires, probably have better tires than anybody else that you know on your vehicles. However, there will be people who view this and still don't know how to change a tire. So the important topic of this is simply safely. First and foremost, your tires play the essential role of safety in your vehicle. If yours have been driven on for so long that they've seriously deteriorated, you may be putting yourself and your passengers at risk. You have to keep in mind that each tire is supporting a quarter of the weight of your vehicle. That's a lot of weight, so if any of your tires become compromised, it can become a big deal pretty quickly. Your tires give you the ability to grip the road, turn safely, and stop at a reasonable amount of time. If they are practically bald, they're not going to do any of those jobs well, and that means you are in danger. Not only are you in danger, but you're endangering folks around you and other drivers. When you put it in perspective, shelling out the dough for new tire sets after 5 or 6 years of good use is a small price to pay for your personal well-being. Why is this an important topic? Efficiency. Have you ever been racking up a higher bill than usual at the pump? It's probably because it has to do with your tires. They keep your car moving smoothly, but they're worn down unevenly or unbalanced properly. You could be wasting lots of money on fuel. When your tires are off for any reason, it makes it more difficult for your vehicle to keep consistent contact with the road. And because the vehicle is working harder, it's using more fuel. So if you're thinking that stretching out the life of your already impaired tires will help your financial situation, think again. You're actually losing money, and it's likely that you're putting excessive cash into the gas tank without even realizing it. And so this is a big point here. As long as you keep your tires maintained, it's going to save you money at the gas pump. So the next subject of why this is important is performance. When your tires have good tread, are balanced properly, and filled to the proper pressure, you can feel the difference in the way your car drives. It feels smooth and composed. And when your tires are damaged or bare, you probably feel vibrating, pulling, or etc. The ride is less pleasurable, and your vehicle's performance is subpar. A car's tires also aid in its suspension, meaning that driving will feel uncomfortably bumpy and erratic when the rubber is worn out. Make the most of your driving experience with high-quality tires. Your car will be able to efficiently deliver power to each of the wheels, and in turn, the tires will put put it to the pavement. And the last section of why this topic is important is traction. Getting a maximum traction from your tires affects pretty much everything related to driving. First, it ensures that you remain in control of your vehicle even when faced with tough conditions like snow or slushy roads. Tires with the proper amount of tread help pass water and snow through your car so your car can stay grounded as you drive. Without that, and without tread, the rubber just spins on the wet surface, and you can quickly find yourself in a scary situation. Even when the weather is perfectly fine, having tires that are in good condition still serves its purpose. Your car handles more capably, giving you much more satisfying ride and a reduction in fuel consumption. So what are the consequences of bad tire maintenance? So here is a consequence of an overinflated tire. Overinflated tires are most commonly a result of pumping too much air into the vehicle's tires. Although a tire may look like it needs air, it is important to know and to adhere to the levels specified to your car. And I'm going to repeat that again, specified to your car. The level specified to your car is not on the tire itself. So some of the results of having tires that are overinflated include increased chance of damage, a rougher ride, higher risk of a blowout, increased tire wear, and consequently bad tires that you're going to have to replace over and over again. You can see right there that the overinflated tire has wear down the middle ridge of the tread. So here are the consequences of an underinflated tire. An underinflated tire can even be more consequential than an overinflated tire. Some of these consequences include increased tire wear, heightened risk of a blowout, increased difficulty in handling, and decreased fuel efficiency, and increased emissions. So the flatter the tire, the more fuel you're going to be spending. And you can see in the picture on the right there, an underinflated tire will have the outside of the tire worn compared to the inside of the tire when it's overinflated. So the question is, how do you properly inflate a tire? Or how do you find the proper pressure for the tire of your vehicle? The proper tire pressure of your vehicle can most often be found in the sticker of the driver's side door jamb. The pressure marked on the sticker is the pressure that you should use for your vehicle, not for the tire, but use for the tire for the vehicle. You should never use the pressure that is posted on the tire itself, because that pressure is the maximum pressure that the tire is designed to run. Since tires may fit several models of vehicles that weigh different amounts, engineers have calculated the optimum pressure that your tire should run, and that is what is posted on the vehicle's owner manual and on the side of your door jamb. So take a look at the right there. I know the top picture is looks like German, but it's just a reference to show you where to find the proper tire pressure for your vehicle. And so if you look on the right hand side of that bottom picture there, it says front 32 psi, rear 30 psi. Your psi's can vary via tire on the front or the back for optimum use of your vehicle and the best gas mileage. So next up about tires is how to properly maintain your tires, and the biggest thing is tire rotations. The tires from the front and rear of the vehicles operate at different loads and perform different steering and braking function, resulting in unequal wear patterns to gain maximum life and performance from your tires. It is essential to rotate your vehicle's tires. Refer to your vehicle's owner manual for mileage and recommendations. Usually, tire rotation is performed between every 5,000 and 7,000 miles, common on performance cars and tires designed to rotate in a specific direction. These can only be rotated front to rear, and in different tire sizes are used on the front and rear axles. Rotation is not possible. So I'm going to pause this real quick and get back into here and just take a quick second here so I could take a quick break and a sip of water to keep talking about what's going on here and to take a look inside the chat room. And I hope you guys are enjoying this because and learning some new things. Like when I did this, I had no clue. No clue. Okay, I am soon to be 37 years old. I had no clue the tire pressure for the vehicle is on the inside of the door jamb. I'll firmly admit it. I've always gone a couple psi under the maximum tire pressure. But always new times. How's it going? We gave away your book tonight, and I believe show you who our winner was, and that was the winner was Anita G's Hillbilly Haven. She won the book. But we're talking about tires right now, and I'm about to get right back into this here momentarily. But I hope you guys are enjoying this this presentation. Yep, Chip Signal said it right. Specify to your car. Look at the door jamb of the sticker. Yeah, I didn't know that, and yeah, I guess I'm a dumbass. I don't know. Being a Prius owner before I got this car, I got a 09 Impala right now. I had a Prius before that. Kicked the bucket after 200,000 miles. Because it was a Prius, you were always told to overinflate your tires or maximize the PSI of your tire to get the maximum, to get the least amount of road resistance, to get the maximum amount of miles out of it. But we will continue on here because I am ready to go. We are a few pages away from getting to the end of this, and I hope you find this again important in your lives, and we will continue on. So back to the screen display and to the presentation and where we were at. One second. So we just talked about tire rotation. I'm going to bring this page up again, make it larger for you guys to see it. If you have a forward wheel drive, I got my little cursor here. That means the front of your car takes up all the acceleration of your vehicle. Your vehicle is powered by the front of your car. What you do when you rotate your tires is the front two tires will go to the back. Your back right tire will go to your front left, and your back left tire will go to your front right. If you have an all-terrain vehicle, a forward alternative, or I'm sorry, this is another forward alternative, is to crisscross or switch. So that means front left to back right, and front right to back left, and then same on the back. So the back right goes to the front left, and the back left goes to the front right. On rear-wheel drive vehicles and four-wheel drive vehicles, you take the rear I can't speak tonight, rear wheels, and you move them forward to the front, and then you crisscross the front. So the front left goes to the back right, and the front right goes to the back left. And that is the tire rotation. If you decide to rotate your own tires, congratulations, you just saved yourself 20 bucks. I would recommend you take it to a place if you don't feel confident in changing your tires. It shouldn't cost you more than $20, and I would say do this depending on how often you change your oil. I would say every other time you change your oil would be the best for that practice. and that'll wear your tires down evenly, and then that'll be good to go. So let's talk about tire balancing. Proper balanced tires help minimize uneven wear and extends the life of the tire. When tires are balanced, small weights are attached to the wheels to limit the vibration of the tire and wheels as they turn. Newly installed tires should be balanced, and thereafter whenever a vibration is noticed. Balancing is also called for whenever a tire is removed from the wheel, for example, to repair a puncture or if you're rotating your tires. Next up for tire maintenance is your wheel alignment. Wheel alignment is the measurement of the position of the wheels compared to the specifications that the vehicle manufacturers recommend. Each vehicle has a specific wheel alignment setting. If any alignment measurement falls outside the specific range, uneven tire wear can result in the vehicle handling may be affected, and fuel economy may also be affected. You should have the wheel alignment checked and adjusted when you get new tires on your vehicle. So when you get new tires, you're not just getting new tires. Request them to align it if it's not included. And that's a good question to ask when you get new tires. Hey, is an alignment included with my new tires? And if they say no, they say, well, why not? Ask that question first, and then they might include it. If they don't, they'll charge you extra for that alignment, but get the alignment. Once they're installed and thereafter, any time when unusual steering characteristics are observed in your vehicle, if your vehicle veers left or veers right, a vehicle's wheels are properly misaligned. A vehicle's wheels are properly aligned when the car will drive down the road in a straight line without dragging to the left, without dragging to the right. And you can see here what a proper alignment looks like, what a bad alignment looks like, and how it can wear on the tire. Next up, the biggest thing: why you should never buy used tires on from older vehicles. Older tires are more likely to fail. When you shop for used tires, you have no idea what type of shape they're really in. You don't know if the tires were driven for too long or if they were driven while carrying heavy loads. Even if the outside isn't bulging and the thread looks fine, the tires may have severe damage that you cannot see inside the rubber of the tire. The rubber of the tire can also be degraded or cracked. Even tires that have been well cared for will break down over time. The rubber will start to oxidize and then degrade. You should be driving down the road and your tires may blow out. Some tire manufacturers say to replace your tires every 10 years, but some experts say the cutoff is more likely 6 years. You also need to replace the spare tire even if it has just been sitting in your trunk unused. So continuing on with why you should never buy used tires. You won't be notified of safety recalls. Despite the extensive safety testing that manufacturers perform on their products, some issues aren't discovered until long after the product has been on the market and used for a variety of situations. Manufacturers rely on the purchasing information or registration information to contact owners in the case of a problem so the product has to be repaired in case the product has to be repaired or recalled. If you buy used tires, the manufacturer will not have your information and you will not be notified in case of this problem. You may hear about the issue on the news at some point, but it could be months after the problem was discovered. Had you purchased the tires new in the first place, you would have been the first to know about the problem. And if you look at the picture here on the right, it shows you on the very right the week and the year the tire was made. That's an important number. If it's above 6 years since the last time that number was updated, it's time to get a new tire. So next up, what's in your trunk? What comes with your vehicle? When you get your vehicle, a brand new vehicle or a used vehicle, you're going to look for these 4 things. These are basic but required for every car to change a spare tire. A vehicle's owner manual, a spare tire, a lug nut wrench, and a jack. I'm going to stop here real quick and come back to the scene here to tell you guys, okay, These days, vehicles are meant for saving uh, on weight of the vehicle. Uh, the lighter the vehicle, the better handling it's going to have, the better gas power it's going to have, the longer distance it's going to go without between fill-ups and whatnot. Majority of vehicles these days do not have spare tires inside their trunks. It's funny. I got a friend who has got a Honda Ascent or a Hyundai Ascent. He's had this car for 3 or 4 years. Never had a spare tire. You open up the trunk. There's a space for a spare tire, and there's a tire. All that's there is a tire repair kit, and there's no way you're going to repair your tire on the side of the road when you're in danger. So that was my rant, my soapbox. Make sure when you buy a new car or a used car, make sure that that vehicle has a spare tire that is usable. And again, check the date on that spare tire and make sure that it's within that range. If it's not, you can require the people to change that tire before you purchase that vehicle. So back to what we were doing. Screen display. So these are the 4 things that your vehicle should come with. A vehicle's owner manual should be inside the glove box. A spare tire, a lug nut wrench, and a jack. These are the minimum things you need to change a tire in a car. What doesn't come with your vehicle, what your vehicle should have regardless. If you don't have these in your vehicle now, make it the first thing you do this weekend. Go to the store, cut a piece of block or wood, and put this in your vehicle. A rain poncho. You don't know what situation you're going to be in if you have a blowout. Sturdy gloves. You don't want your hands to get all dirty. Plus, you don't want to hurt your hands in case there's any sharp objects or sharp surfaces around the tire, because the rim can be scraped to a point where it has a sharp edge. You want a flashlight. If you get stuck at night, you want to be able to see what you're doing. Best flashlight to get is something that could stand up on its own and be pointed in a direction. Another good flashlight to have is a headlamp for a vehicle. A wheel wedge or a chalk. This is going to be put on the opposite tire that you're changing. So if you're changing the back left tire, you're going to put the chalk on the front right, and so on and so forth. The exact opposite tire is where you're going to put this chalk. So the vehicle starts to roll back or roll forward, it'll stop it from doing so. And then a large board to secure the jack. You may come onto a situation where you have a blowout and the ground is quite soft. You can place this board, this 2x4, underneath the jack, and it'll serve as a longer and wider foundation for that jack to properly jack up your car. So the last part of the show is how to change a tire safely. This is the best part to start somebody if you just want to come back to this video sometime in the future to show somebody else how to change a tire. This is exactly how to change a tire. So how to change a tire safely. Park your car on a flat surface. Put the emergency brake and hazard lights on. Set up a reflective warning triangle, which should be in the back of your car. Place a block or wedge on the tire diagonally opposite of the flat tire. Remove the spare, the jack, the lug wrench from your car. Make sure the spare tire is inflated. If it's flat, there's no point. How to change the tire safely. Again, remove your hubcap or cover so you can get to the lug nuts. Loosen, do not remove your lug nuts with the lug wrench. You just want the nuts to break free from their tightened state. Then you're going to place your jack underneath the car on a sturdy part of the frame. Your vehicle manual will have information on where to place your jack. Because if you just put it underneath your car, you're going to go through your floorboard. You have to put it in a proper place that's supported by the frame of the vehicle to lift that particular part of the car. It's in your manual. Turn the crank at the end of the jack and by hand until it contacts the frame of the vehicle. Then you're going to add your jack handle lever to the jack. Crank the handle until the wheel is high enough above the ground to remove your tire. You do not have to do it all the way up, just enough to where there's an inch of free space underneath that tire. Do not stick your arms or legs underneath the car. It could injure you. Again, safety first. Don't put yourself underneath the car with a jack underneath it. How to change your tire again. Remove the lug nuts. Remove the lug nuts from the wheel by turning them counterclockwise, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So you're going to be turning to the left. Place each lug nut in a location that they will not be lost or rolled away. If you're in tall grass, don't just put it on the ground. You're not going to find it again. If you're on a hill, make sure it's in a location where it's not going to roll away from you or go underneath the vehicle. Remove the flat tire, lay it flat on the ground. You do not want it to roll away. Line up the spare tire with the wheel studs and place it on the vehicle. Once the wheel is on, hand tighten the lug nuts all the way down and then tighten the lug nut with a wrench until you get resistance. And just like your tire rotation, you're going to do a rotation with your lug nuts to get them firmly secured to your wheel. So lower your jack until the wheel is firmly on the ground. Finish tightening your lug nuts. To get the lug nuts as tightly as possible, use the star pattern to tighten. And on this description here, this picture here, it shows you on the right hand side, if you have 4 lug nuts, the pattern, it's a cross pattern. If you have 5 lug nuts, the cross pattern, it's actually a star pattern on how to properly tighten those lug nuts. And then finally, spare tires are not supposed to be driven on for long distances or at high speeds. Drive slowly. 45 miles per hour is going to be your maximum speed. Get your tire fixed and or replaced as soon as possible. So, with that being said, folks, I got a challenge. And that challenge is to do a couple things. Actually, there was more to that presentation. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, yep, the challenge is right there. Let me move it over to the challenge. Screen display, and then the challenge. So here's your challenge, ladies and gentlemen. If you're in this room right now, if you're in the sound of my voice, I want you to try this challenge. There's 3 challenges. There's the beginner challenge, the intermediate challenge, and then the master challenge. The beginner challenge is to watch a video on how to change a tire. Send or share a video with a friend with the same challenge. I want you to challenge people you know. Hey, this year you're my friend. I want you to be safe on the road. Why don't you go ahead and watch a video on how to change a tire? You may know how to change a tire, but do it again anyway. Your intermediate challenge. Watch a video and inventory your tire changing gear and or add the gear you need, the minimum gear you need for changing your tire and tire safety and roadside safety. So the master challenge is to change a tire on your vehicle or challenge someone you know to change a tire on a vehicle. So that is the challenge. So let's say some of you folks have gotten up later in the years and haven't changed a tire in years. Is it still possible for you to change the tire? Are you going to have to call for help? These are the things you're going to want to try and challenge yourself with in order to know for a fact that if something does happen, what are the steps you're going to need to take for that safety of the changing of that tire. Sorry, I'm a little frozen right now. So, yeah, I saw a cartoon the other day, and it had this guy having his wife change his tire, and he says, "Honey, you know I'm allergic to nuts," so he couldn't touch lug nuts. But with that challenge, How many people do you know? How many nephews, nieces do you know that probably don't know how to change a tire? I would say quite a lot. Last year I came across, we work on a road off the military compound, and the road is like Swiss cheese. It gets worse and worse and worse, and then they come and fill all the potholes with concrete, and then they go on into the next year and it becomes Swiss cheese again. Well, if you hit holes just right, they would go as far as to hitting the rim and bending your rim of your vehicle if you hit it just right. I ran across this young lady, who was driving a Mercedes-Benz, beautiful car. She went around a corner way too fast and hit one of these large potholes. It bent her rim in to the point where it almost cut her tire in half, and she safely got off the road and was waiting there. She had already pulled out her spare tire, her jack, and I think that's all she had. And so I pulled over to the side of the road and rolled down my window politely and said, "Hey, do you need help?" She says, "Yes, I have I have a flat tire." So I proceeded to her. I walked up, said, "Hey, my name's Patrick. I see you got a flat tire. I want to help you out, and we're going to get you taken care of. Have you called anybody?" She said yes, but that particular area did not have cell phone reception. That particular spot, it's really weird because it's only like a 30-foot gap in the road where there's no reception she was in. So she couldn't get a hold of anybody. And so I said, "I see that you have your jack out, your spare tire, and the things you need to change your tire." And at the same time, I was checking her spare tire to make sure it was inflated. And so I said, "So I'm going to show you how to change your tire." Uh, and she said, "Thanks, great." And she got on her phone and started flipping through it. I said, "Ma'am, I don't think you understand what I'm saying." I said, "I'm going to show you how to do it, but you are going to change the tire." And she looked at me all cross-eyed like I had a big something on my head, and said, "Excuse me, I don't think so." And I'm like, "I don't know if you know this or not, but if you're stuck in a situation like this, you're going to want to rely upon yourself and have the experience of what to do in this exact scenario. Had I not driven by, had nobody stopped, you'd be stuck here because you don't have cell phone. You'd have to walk down the road till you get reception or something like that, putting yourself in more danger." So she gave me a stiff upper lip and said, "Look, I'm going to walk you step by step, and I will help you and show you how to change the tire." And she did all the work. And we were about almost done. We were about to put the car back down and tighten the lug nuts when another gentleman had stopped. And this gentleman came out and he said, "Are you guys okay?" And the lady said, "This guy is making me change my own tire." And he smiled and said, "Well, looks like it's handled," and got back in his truck and drove away. Sometimes it is best for you to force it upon people to have to make them do it themselves. So she learned how to change a tire. If it ever happens again, I am confident in knowing that she will know how to change a tire, and that she'll be safe enough to be able to change her tire without any major consequences. Yeah, chip signal. It's on a military compound. On the backside, it has public roads on the back. I guess if there were any issues with that, we could contact the base. It's Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and they would have to pay and reimburse for the damage to the vehicle. We understand that, but where we work, we have no choice but to drive on these roads. So, so yeah, Paprika, she couldn't walk. So that's my show for tonight. We've run at 1 hour and 17 minutes. I hope you guys enjoyed this different way of having a live show. In the beginning, we talked about what's going on. Sorry, Megan couldn't be here tonight, but she's exhausted. She's back on her New Year's resolution. She gets up at 5 o'clock in the morning, goes to the gym, and by the time she's at home, she's worn out, and she was bent out of shape tonight and ready to go to bed. And so I actually sent her to bed tonight I almost took away her cell phone because she stayed up later than she should have. But after we put the kid to sleep tonight, I told her to go to bed and that I would do the show myself. But next week, I'm going to look forward to Megan being on the show. She does miss you guys and sends her warm regards. And so, a quick look at what's going on in 2019. Got my schedule up here. So, today being the 8th. The next thing is going to happen on the 11th. That's going to be the book review of Blackout. Let me just had it here. Yeah, the book review of Blackout by Daisy Looper. And again, this is, like I said, 71 pages of information that are going to be really good. We're going to give that away next Tuesday in our live show. You got to watch the review on Friday in order to figure out how to receive your chance at winning a free copy of that. There's going to be 2 winners, and there's going to be 2 ways to win. You can sign up for both, so that doubles your odds for that chance. And like tonight with Miss Donna's book, there were only 2 people that followed the instructions specifically, so they had better odds of receiving a book. And so, again, the winner of that book, Anita G., just send me an email. Let me know if you want the PDF version or a physical version, and an address if you want the physical version. So next week, we're going to be talking about, let's see what next week is, the 15th. We're going to be talking about the flu. It is flu season, and it's going to get bad here pretty quick. Apparently this weekend, the cold weather is supposed to show up. I'm not sure. It's supposed to be 70 degrees and sunny tomorrow. But we've seen this before, and it got pretty bad, and the winter got extended to almost through May, the last time it happened like this. So the flu is coming, and we're going to talk about how to prevent the flu, what you can do, natural remedies you can take to prevent the flu, and when you get the flu, what you can do as well. So we're going to talk about that. The following Tuesday, we're going to talk about oregano oil. We're going to have Robin from the Big Bear Homestead come on to the channel as a special guest to talk about oregano oil. And then the following Tuesday, we're going to have Brad from Full Spectrum Survival on the channel, and he'll be our special guest, and we're going to talk about poor window and door security. So that's what's coming up. We'll see you guys on Friday with the book review, and then next Tuesday at 9 Eastern Standard Time for the next edition of the BreakAway Homestead live show. I hope you guys enjoyed this evening, and we'll see you again real soon. Love you guys. Bye.